students. So hope all you are quite well. And now in session 3, we are going to discuss about rural and urban settlements and on the basis of the pattern. Okay. So now you see, in the last session, that was in session number 2, I have given you some of the very important definitions of rural settlement and urban settlement. Now we are going to discuss about on the basis of the pattern. Again, this rural settlement and the urban settlement can be further classified into more subdivided types of settlements. Okay, don't be confused. Basically, there are only two types of settlements, rural and urban. Again, on the basis of the pattern of settlements, we can further classify into different types of settlements. Okay, so now we will discuss about on the basis of the pattern of settlements. These settlements can be further classified into number 1, dispersed settlements. So dispersed means what, you know? That means dispersed settlement means what? Lying here and there. Okay, dispersed settlement, you have to draw the diagram also. Suppose here, if I will draw up here a line, then this could be, you know, that this line quite resembles the ways, the path. It's quite given in your book. You can just look from your book also. Only to understand, I am drawing in a very roughly way, in a rough manner. Here and there. Okay, these are known as what? Dispersed settlement. It's quite not confined in a particular area, but lying here and there. This you know, this full stop or this, you know, this points, you can say the houses or the buildings or the settlement. Dispersed settlement. So this settlement we can say in the hilly areas, in the mountainous areas, in the desert areas also. That means the areas which are quite not suitable for, you know, that human settlements. The people that the topography or the entire physiography is quite not suitable for the human settlement purpose. In that area only we can say this dispersed settlement. That means this line here and here. So due to charting variations in the nature of the soil topography, presence of water sources and existence of forest, availability of cultivable land, presence of roads, etc., human settlements get dispersed at different locations in the some area. As I already told you, due to some topography, physiographic conditions, unavailability of soil, water, all these things are what? Quite responsible for such variation or such distributions of settlement and lying here and there. This is known as what? Dispersed settlement. Okay. Now we will say next one is what? Next, number 2 is what? Nucleated settlement. Okay, nucleated means what, you know? Congested. Within a particular or the same area where we can get ample of opportunities. Okay, nucleated settlement, here we can draw. Suppose this is an area, here we can see lots of, you know, that this is roads congested in a particular area. Here we can see that it's full of, you know, that settlements lying, you know, very in a particular place. This is, you can say as nucleated. Nucleated means what, you know, thupkai thoka. In essence, we can say that means thupkai thoka. Okay. So where we will see in such congested form, only in the place where we can, you know, some kind of urban areas only we can say that nucleated settlements, or we can say that, you know, the places where we can get ample of opportunities, better opportunities, availability of good soil, availability of water, availability all such basic amenities for a very high, you know, for living way. In such place only we can find this nucleated settlement. Here I just want to read one paragraph from you. See, in many parts of the world, nucleated or compact, yes, this is also known as what? Compact. Complex settlements grew due to charted environment and economic regions. Yes, basically it is what? Due to the opportunities for for their livelihood, only for the economic reasons. Generally, families tend to live close to each other due to occupation, religious, social affinity. So in these type of settlement, the houses are constructed very close to each other. Yes, and a vast area lies in between the settlements. So this type of settlements is mostly seen in the fertile agricultural areas. Okay. So these settlements only we can say in the fertile agricultural land areas, and also we can see in a very that areas where we can see lots of availability of opportunities for the good benefits. Okay. So such type of settlements are what? Nucleated settlement. Now these nucleated settlement can be also further divided into different types such as linear, star pattern, triangular, like this. All you just open up your books, you can get all the things. So you see, first of all, don't be confused. Again, repeatedly I am saying, because when the question will come, you just try to understand the question. Suppose classify the types of settlements. How will you write? Basically, the settlements, human settlement can be classified into rural and urban settlements. To write the definition, okay. Then after that, what you have to write? On the basis of the pattern, settlement can be classified into dispersed settlement and nucleated settlement. Okay. Now again, you have to write the definition. Again, you can see right that this nucleated settlement further can be classified into various types. So only depending on the pattern. Is it clear? So only depending on the pattern, that is the size of the settlement. So now again I will draw here because there is no space to draw all the diagrams equally. So here this nucleated settlement further can be classified into number A, linear settlement. Yes, linear settlement. So what is this linear settlement? The settlement which takes place on the either side of a river banks, roadsides, coastal areas, etc. are known as what? Linear settlement. So these settlements I will draw here again for your clarifications. Already it is given in your book. Suppose this here we can say this type of settlement. That means it will be in a straight line form, in the linear type. Linear means what? Straight line. Okay. The settlement which takes place on the either side of the roads, either side of the rivers, coastal areas, railway tracks. So in a straight line form, this type of pattern is known as one linear settlement. Okay. So these things are quite very easy. It's not so tough. So next we will see star-shaped settlements. So star-shaped means what? It's just like the size of a star. So number D will say star-shaped settlement. Star-shaped settlement. So yeah, what we will see here, it is just type like the like this star-shaped settlement. It is just like the shape of a star. We can see here all this. So where we can see this star shape where the cross junction. Okay. So this type of settlement come around when the lines will be joined. Suppose these straight lines are what? Suppose roads. When it will cross junction, when it will cross in this particular area, in this area, I think all you have noticed in this one, Sariali is isn't it? Then Pasali, that means connection of the 5 roads. Okay, in that intersection of these different roads. Okay, in that particular area, maximum people used to reside only for trade incomes, only for business purposes, due to some kind of economic activities only. So when this type of pattern grows up, so this type is known as what? Star-shaped settlement or star pattern. So next we will see this number C, square-shaped settlement. Square-shaped settlement. like the shape of a square. It is just like, you know, this shape of a square like that. Here we will find in this junctions, and here also we can see, we can find this particular areas. So this is like the shape of a square, and this we can find in which areas basically the settlements grow around the vast agricultural field areas. Okay, this square shape settlement basically develops in the agricultural field areas. Basically, this and also the settlements develop in the shape of a square. And this type of, you know, settlements basically we find in the Southeast Asian countries, particularly in Malaysia, belong to these categories. So the Malaysian people, they used to live in such type of settlement, such a type of pattern. This is what square type or square shape settlement. Is it clear? Basically develop nearby the agricultural fields. So next we will see this here it is quite scattered settlement. And scattered settlement means what, you know, this scattering here and here. It can be also known as in the dispersed type. Scattered shaped. Scattered shape means what? Scattering here and there due to unavailability of resources, due to, you know, this unavailability of better job of standard of life. So such type of settlements we can see in some kind of very harsh climatic areas, such as here if we can see, yes, scattering here and there. Okay, we will not see in a particular place. So this is basically in the semi-arid areas or in the hilly areas only, where there is extreme temperature, very harsh climate. We will see this K-type shape of settlement. So is it clear, all of you now, all these things? And further you can see the diagrams from your textbook also. These things are not very tough, isn't it? These are quite very easy terms. And next we will see the all these things I think I have given here. Now this rural settlement, I think you have already noted down the rural and the urban settlements, and on the basis of the pattern we have discussed dispersed, nucleated, linear, star, square, scattered type, and all these are quite depending on the pattern of the sizes and the shapes of the settlement. These urban and the rural settlements can be further classified. So basically these settlements we will only find on the rural areas only. This nucleated settlement we can find, or the star shape and the square shape we can find in the urban settlement also. Okay, because where depending on the economic activities, as I already told you, the people are quite much more facilitated to that particular place and to reside in that place, in that particular area. So we have, in this session we have discussed about the rural and the urban settlements, the pattern of the settlements, and you know that on what basis the settlements can be classified. Depending on the economic or the occupational activities, the settlements can be further classified. Okay, so I think this much is quite enough for today, and in our last but not the least session we will discuss about the hierarchy of the settlements, and we will discuss about the entire remaining part.